Well, bought another truck. It's a 2013 GMC Sierra Crew Cab, 198,000 miles with lifter failure. So I got it in the garage. Oh, well, the truck's in pretty good shape. Interior and everything's nice. Seat's not all ripped up. But it's got a stuck lifter, cylinder 6, so I'll let you see what it sounds like. Not good. I've already diagnosed it, cut the valve cover off, and I saw the one valve that's not opening. So now, we've got all these parts here. And today, I'm going to take the cylinder heads off. I'm going to take the oil pan off. To do that, I got to take the front differential out. And we're going to replace all the lifters, the camshaft, push rods, all the gaskets, obviously. And then we're going to do an oil pump, timing chain, and a pickup tube. And this thing's going to be as good as new. Okay, I got the intake manifold off, and there's always seemingly trash and debris. Get a vacuum that stuff up. And then I'm gonna take this valley cover off and show you guys a little trick on getting this lifter unstuck. Intake manifold off, valley cover off, right side valve cover off, take the rocker arms off. I got this tool from another YouTube channel called, Crazed Performance Repair, CPR. And the guy sells this, I think it's like a push rod that he modified. So this thing, we're gonna stick down into one of those Vlom holes. That's the rear lifter that's stuck, so put this in there. You gotta kind of push all the oil out. And then we're gonna tap this with a hammer. And it should release the stuck lifter and then shoot the push rod out of the cylinder head. Let's see if we can do it. The wiring harness kind of gets in the way. But I'm just gonna take a hammer, kind of hit it on the side like this, and see if we can watch something happen. Oh, look at that. Did you see that thing move? Let's do it again. Look at that. Just unstuck the lifter. So technically I could put this back together and it would run on all 8, but we don't know for how long. I've done this before and it did not last very long. So I am going to go ahead and keep going with the repair, but I wanted to show you guys that you can actually unstick a stuck lifter with this tool. Like I said, I've done it before. It does work for a little while. You just don't know how long it's going to work for. And ultimately, these lifters suck and they're a problem. I want to get them out of there, tune this truck to run on V8 only, get a new camshaft in. I'm sure this camshaft lobe has wear and tear on it. They all do. So we'll keep going with the repair. I got the cylinder heads off. I was able to leave the exhaust manifolds in place. Just kind of have to pry them down with a pry bar to get to the lower head bolts. So now we'll pull the lifters out. And then I got to get the front crank pulley off, get the timing cover off, and we'll pull the camshaft out. I did also get the front differential out. Use the transmission jack to get it down. That worked pretty good. And so we'll pull the oil pan and get the oil pump and pickup tube out of there. Well, we're making good progress. Oh, and I did mail out the ECM. Almost forgot. To get the AFM DOD program deleted so it will never go into 4-cylinder mode again. That's important. If we didn't do that, we'd start this thing up and it would go into limp mode. So don't forget to get your ECM programmed. I use lt1swap.com. All right, we got the camshaft out, we got the lifters out, Let's go look at the lifters and the cam. So this is your regular average lifter. And then these are the cylinder deactivation lifters. They're much longer and there's a big spring on top. They're really dumb, really poor design. Camshaft, surprisingly, not all beat up. Usually there's like lobes that are all worn down and stuff. Not that bad. That makes me wonder, I bet this thing's been fixed before, being at 198,000 miles. I bet that cam's been out before. Well, I got the oil pan off, letting it drain out into that oil bucket. We'll scrape that and clean it up. Got the oil pump off, that's the old one. This is the new one from Melling. Melling makes better oil pumps than General Motors does. So technically it's an upgrade, even though it's a standard flow, standard volume pump. You can get high volume, higher flow pumps, but we don't need to on a stock motor. New timing chain tensioner, new pickup tube. These are the new lifters and lifter trays. So right now we're going to put the oil pump and the pickup tube on, along with the new timing chain that goes behind the oil pump. Oh, let's go in here. So, yep, put the timing chain first. Well, tensioner, then timing chain. This old tensioner is gonna come off. And then oil pump, and then pickup tube, and then we can put the oil pan back on after we clean up all the surfaces and get the new gasket. Oh, and then we can finally put the new camshaft in. Brand new oil pump, new timing chain, which will go up to the cam once we put that in. New pickup tube, and we got the block cleaned up so we can put the pan on with the new gasket. The new camshaft is in. Put some engine assembly lube on it and then slid it in there. And it got a new camshaft retainer plate because of that rubber gasket there. It's usually completely worn out on the old ones. And so you want to get a new one, they're cheap, like 17 bucks or whatever. So now we'll put this on, put the bolts in, tighten them to spec, and then we have to time the engine and get camshaft, crankshaft timed together. Number one's already at the top, so we might already be ready, which is kind of crazy because I didn't plan that. Got the cylinder heads all cleaned up, scraped off, vacuumed out every surface. Got the oil pan installed, front timing cover installed, crank pulley / harmonic balancer installed, new lifters, new lifter trays installed. I scraped all the surfaces, got them all clean, used a vacuum to suck up the debris. So now we're ready to put head gaskets on, put the heads on. Maybe I'll put the valley cover on right now too, may as well do that. And we're inching closer. Just got the cylinder heads put on. The arms are real tired from the torque sequence on 2 cylinder heads. I got the new valley cover on for the DOD Delete. It's just a flat, regular valley cover like you'd find on a Gen 3 motor or something. There's the old one in the scrap pile. Doesn't have any of that on there on the new one. Now I can put the intake manifold on, do all that stuff. Engine oil cooler lines are installed. That's not fun. If you have the front differential out, like I did, make sure you replace the cooler lines before you put that differential back in, otherwise it's not fun. I was gonna put the intake manifold on, but first I want to clean out the throttle body. It's disgusting. And I've seen on these trucks specifically, they will go into reduced power mode with the throttle body code. And I've actually fixed that code just by simply cleaning out the throttle body with some brake clean or carb cleaner and some rags. Just get it nice and clean and shiny. Code went away. Saved the guy 300 bucks. These are not cheap throttle bodies to buy new. And also there's a bunch of oil in the intake. I'll wipe as much of that out as I can. So clean that up and we'll put the intake manifold on. Intake manifold is installed. Wiring harness, coil packs, wires, spark plugs. I cleaned out the throttle body. As you can see, it's much cleaner than it was before. And I don't have the computer. I sent it out to get deleted, the DOD deleted. But what I do have is another ECM that I sent out a long time ago to get VATS and DOD deleted, so I could kind of use it when I'm missing an ECM in just this exact situation where I just need to plug it in and fire it up. I'm not going to leave that ECM in, obviously, but it'll work. It should start because the VATS are deleted. I've used it on other trucks. I just want to hear this run before I call it a day. So get that installed and we'll do a first startup. All right guys, I pulled the fuel pump fuse because I just want to crank this over. It's got the brand new oil pump and timing and all that. I want to build oil pressure at cranking speed before I start it, and it shoots up to 1500 or 2000 RPM with no oil. I did fill up the oil filter with oil to help prime it quicker. So we're just gonna watch oil pressure while we crank. And of course it started. I did not want that. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. Fuel should be all gone now. Dang, man, what the heck? I don't want that. Well. Oh, look at that. Probably just ran out of fuel. But we saw oil pressure. Well, I guess it's just gonna run without a fuel pump fuse. It's running good. Can hear the lifters getting primed up. Good oil pressure. I should probably open the garage door before I suffocate myself. So 1 year later, and about 14,000 miles, zero issues. You saw the check engine light. That's for an air-fuel ratio imbalance. I really haven't looked into it. It doesn't affect anything, I don't think. Engine runs smooth. So moral of the story, delete those AFM lifters, put regular lifters in. You will not regret it, and you will have a reliable truck. Just like they used to be before they put all this stuff on those motors. The 5.3 is a great motor, but when you choke it with all this technology that's supposed to give you a half a mile per gallon better mileage, well, it kind of implodes on itself. Luckily, when a lifter gets stuck, it doesn't ruin the engine, but you do need to replace all the lifters and the camshaft to do it right. And I recommend doing a timing chain while you're in there and replacing the oil pump too, because why not? You're already in there. So that's it. See you next time.